What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Doki Doki Blue Skies episode. God, I honestly don't know if I'm ready for this one, guys. They're just... A lot happened last time, and I'm still just trying to process it all. It might make me feel. It might make me feel better about it to just go on record and saying that I severely, very severely misjudged Yuri. Poor girl has gone through so much in her life. And I felt so much hate towards her after everything that she put Natsuki through in Exit Music. And just everything just kind of makes sense with that now. You know, I'm gonna... You know, it's so strange being so emotionally invested in characters that don't even exist. You know, but you know they're relatable, so I think that's part of it. That they're relatable. But anyway, hopefully this will be a more chipper episode. So let's just jump into it and get going here. It's Monday. God. I never hated a Monday more than today. How am I supposed to focus on classwork after everything that happened last weekend? Why can't I just stay home with Yuri all day? I just want to cuddle under the covers with her and talk until I can truly understand her. Well, technically, I could do that, but Yuri definitely wouldn't spring for it. Knowing her, she'd balk at the thought of missing school. Despite having all these problems and even bullies to deal with. Actually, that's kind of strange how she never misses school. Even if she's a total bookworm, she's got to feel at least some reluctance, right? Especially on the bad days, or on days when the bullies come after her. Fortunately, the bullies only target her when she's alone, and between the club and I, Yuri's not alone often anymore. But even if the bullies are taken out of the equation, it can't be easy going to school sometimes. If my unwillingness can be that strong on exam days, how must she feel on certain days? She said that she cuts when she's feeling overwhelmed. They'll tell me she... at school. Damn it, Flam, stop thinking these things. Stop doubting Yuri. But aren't I right in worrying about Yuri like that? Is this doubt well placed? Maybe doubt is the wrong word. After all, I'm just genuinely worried about both her mental and physical health. How could I not after seeing her arm like that? And I don't even know if she cuts anywhere else on her body either. She's gotta have done that, right? There's only so much you can cut a single arm. Burying my face in my hands, I sigh. Why do I suddenly feel so guilty about thinking these things? I don't want to change how I see Yuri, but at the same time, I just can't help it. Do I just ignore it and try to treat her normally? But I still have to be careful of triggering an episode. At the same time, I don't want to expect that she cuts 24/7. She doesn't do that, does she? I don't even know how often she harms herself. Obviously, she can't do it when she's talking to someone, but when she's alone... Well, she only said that she does it when her feelings come to a head, though. A freak. She called herself a freak. I have to wonder, did she start calling herself that on her own accord, or did she internalize others' words?
Sleeping again, Flam?
Not this time, I swear.
See that I don't catch you sleeping anymore, young man.
You got it, Mom.
I did notice that you were zoned out the whole day, though. Anything up with you?
Nah, not really. I've just been thinking about stuff. By the way, what would you define a freak as?
Eh? Why are you asking this all of a sudden?
Just answer the question.
I guess a freak would be a person who's abnormal.
Huh? That's it? But can't you say that I'm a freak then? If, for instance, I watch anime more than the average person?
Well, no. A freak would be abnormal in a grotesque kind of way. That is, if you were to call someone a freak in a mean-spirited manner. There are lots of different definitions you could use, so you kind of need a context for it. Why? Is someone bullying you?
Shiori's tone suddenly sharpens into a more serious one. No. But thanks for the concern. She immediately relaxes at that. That's why we elected her as the representative. She genuinely cares about the class. I'm just wondering.
If you ever need to think out loud, I'll be here. That's my duty as class rep. No, as your friend.
Thanks. If we were in the same class next term, if we're in the same class next term, I'll be sure to vote for you again.
Thanks. Are you heading to the literature club after this?
Yep. What are you doing after school?
I'm in the Kendo club.
Dang. I know you were part of a band club. I didn't know you also did kendo.
I may be short, but I'm pretty good at it, if I do say so myself. I'm trying to climb up the ranks in the club. With any luck, I'll be captain of the team by the time I'm a third year. It'd be a dream to become the ultimate swordswoman.
Given how passionate you are about it, I'm sure you will. The bell rings, interrupting our conversation.
Speaking of which, I've gotta go. See ya, Flam.
Have fun. My thoughts turn toward Yuri again as I leave the classroom. Hopefully it's not too much for her if I continue talking to her about everything. It should be a release for her, right? Or at least, I hope so.
Flam?
Yuri's waiting for me at our usual spot. Hey, wanna get going?
Of course.
We walk in silence for a bit. It's like Yuri's secret is weighing down heavily on us. Or on me, at least. I don't know if the events of the weekend are on her mind as well. Maybe I'm just the one who's making things weird. Snap out of it, Flam. Let's just lighten the mood a bit. You looking forward to the literature club?
As much as I would any other day, I suppose. Why? Is there something special happening today?
No. It's just that it feels so normal to be going to the club. Like, after what happened on the weekend. Damn it, Flam. You just can't help returning to this topic, huh? Well, it felt like things would change. But here we are. Doing the same thing as usual. Not doing the same thing as bad, though. Sorry for constantly talking about this stuff.
No, it's fine. It's only natural that you want to know more about everything. However, not all change is necessarily bad. For instance, it's been freeing to be able to share these feelings with someone.
Yuri brushes her hand against mine, causing me to grab hold of it. Yeah. I'm definitely glad that change happened. We arrive at the club room and step inside. For once, it seems like Yuri and I are the last ones to the club.
Well, looks like the lovebirds are late. Had a secret tryst on your way over here?
A blush spreads across Yuri's face that makes even me feel embarrassed. No, besides, we're not even late.
Thou doth protest too much, methinks.
Save it, Shakespeare.
That is from Shakespeare, actually. Hamlet, to be specific.
Trust in Yuri to know every single literary reference there is. Don't tell me we were going to start a unit on Shakespeare in the club now.
Don't worry, I wouldn't inflict that on you guys. Not right now, at least.
I can't tell if she's being serious or not.
Anyway, now that everyone's here, we can start our meeting.
Natsuki and Sayori pop out of the closet to... Natsuki and Sayori, come out of the closet. Stop! Stop! I guess. I'm not trying to be perverted, guys. It just... everything just kind of happens, you know? Just... when, you know, certain things are phrased that way, you know, it just can't help but trigger it. You know, it's like they pop out of the closet. I guess Sayori was helping reorganize Natsuki's manga or something.
Flam, Yuri, you're finally here.
Finally? What's that supposed to mean?
Obviously, it means that you two are slowpokes.
How many times am I gonna have to say that we weren't late?
All in good fun, Flam. So, what did everyone do over the weekend?
The weekend. It's kind of surreal to think that people were going about their days normally while Yuri and I were talking about such dark subject matters.
Homework and manga for me.
That sounds about right.
I had to do some part-time work, too. Oh? What kind of work is it? I bet it was something cute, like a waitress job at a maid cafe. What? Who do you think I am? It was, you know, this and that. Sayori, what did you do?
Guess she doesn't want to talk about it, given her sudden change in subject. Maybe she really is working at a maid cafe.
I caught up on sleep.
Sayori, you sleep in every day. There's no way you need to catch up on sleep.
Meanie, you can never have too much sleep.
Yes, you can. Yes, you actually can.
I can definitely relate to that. I never have enough sleep myself.
She sighs, a wry smile on her face.
Not only do I have cram school and tennis practice every day, but I also have to deal with class rep and club duties.
Jeez, humble brag much. Don't you ever have any time to yourself?
Free time, to be honest? I'm busy so often that it's kind of a foreign concept to me. That's what I get for signing up to do so many things, though. It can be truly surprising what a single person is capable of. Oh, that's just an exaggeration. There are lots of downsides to this kind of lifestyle.
Monika's face visibly falls. It does sound kind of hellish to not have time to yourself. Does she even hang out with friends outside of school?
Enough about me. What did you do, Yuri?
Yuri gives me a pleading glance. Yuri and I hung out over the weekend. We talked a lot about stuff. Just stuff.
Wow, what a lovey-dovey couple you are.
Yeah, we talk about stuff so romantic. Stuff this, stuff that, stuff it up your ass, Monika.
Thanks for saving the PDA for the weekends.
Natsuki pantomimes barfing, causing Sayori to giggle. When you guys start dating, I'm going to return all this teasing tenfold. Isn't that right, Yuri?
I suppose so. Well, looks like we all have supremely exciting lives, eh? We're really living on the edge, alright. How about we keep up the excitement and share our poetry now?
Crap, I totally forgot to write a poem. Oh, hold on. I kind of have to talk to Yuri first, privately. Yuri shoots me a curious look.
Eh? Alright, we can just...
It might be a long conversation, so you guys can go ahead and share poetry first.
Is everyone else okay with that? Yuri?
Everyone nods in affirmation.
Okay then, don't take too long.
You bet I'm going to take as long as possible. Alright, haha, come on Yuri, let's step outside for a bit.
So what was it you wanted to talk to me about?
Oh, well, to be honest, I needed a distraction because I forgot to write a poem.
Flam?
Sorry, wait, don't go back in. Yuri sighs and smiles patronizingly. Thanks for putting up with me. And now that I think about it, there is something I wanted to talk to you about anyway. Writing a poem. Oh boy. I actually thought of it during the conversation back inside, but... Yuri? Are you going to tell the others about your self-harm?
No.
She immediately panics at my question. I didn't mean right now. Sorry, I just meant eventually, when you're comfortable, of course.
I see. Sorry, Flam. But I don't know if I'd ever be able to tell them, even in the future.
Why not? Wouldn't you want your friends to know what's going on in your life? They can provide as much support as I do, only multiplied by 4. Voila!
No.
No? Yuri looks down at the ground, not meeting my eyes.
I can't. I wouldn't be able to stand it if they started treating me differently. Can't things just stay the same? Please?
Yuri. You even said it yourself. Sometimes change is necessary.
I didn't say that. I said that change isn't necessarily bad. But in this case, it's neither necessary nor positive. All it'll do is change how others see me.
But how can you, well, get better without people supporting you and standing by your side?
Look, Flam. Even you see me differently now. Don't try to argue otherwise. It's only to be expected. I know you're trying your best.
Yuri,
Please, just let this matter go.
Alright. If you're not comfortable talking about it, I won't force you to.
Thank you. Now, if you'll excuse me.
She slides open the door and slips through. I can't help but feel like this is a conversation that we'll return to later. At least she knows where I stand on the subject. Of course, it's difficult for me to understand her point of view sometimes, but I really do think that she should confide in others too, not just me. For now, though, I have to figure out an excuse for forgetting my poem. Transition power. So, you're just going to skip over the whole poem thing, huh? It's crazy to think about how fast time is flying by. It seems like only yesterday I found out about Yuri's self-harming tendencies. As I'm absent-mindedly thumbing through my phone, I'm once again reminded that February has already started. The past few weeks felt like they hadn't even happened at all. Well, I guess that's not strictly true. I mean, yeah, in many ways, life remained the same. We're still a couple, school hasn't changed much, we still go to the literature club. But despite the apparent normality, things feel different, for obvious reasons, I guess. Yuri also started becoming a little more, I don't know what the word is, obsessive, maybe? Nothing too crazy, but she's been texting me a lot more than usual, and I noticed that she replies instantly. Kinda like she's been glued to her phone. Maybe she's still worried that I'm judging her. After all, she did reveal a very intimate part of herself to me. A pang of anxiety shoots through me. I don't think I'll ever get that scene out of my head when I first saw her raise her hand, blood on the floor. Even after a few weeks, the image is still burned into my mind. The other girls are still oblivious, and Yuri's stance on whether or not she should tell them hasn't changed at all. I sigh and wearily rub my hands through my hair. What am I meant to do? Perhaps I should. One day, my phone will start up interrupting me when I'm deep in thought. Hey, Mom.
Hi, Flam. It's been so long.
It really has, hasn't it? When was the last time we talked?
My goodness, I think it was before Halloween. That means it's been around 3 months.
Around 3 months? Jeez.
Anyway, what's new?
Oh, actually...
Oh, actually, what about Yuri? Are you guys together yet?
Well... I can practically hear the anticipation through the phone screen. Yeah, we are.
I had a feeling you'd tell me that. Look at you, my little prince all grown up.
Mom, really? Little prince?
Sorry. It's just that from my mother's perspective. Well, your son's first girlfriend is big news. I can't wait to meet her.
You'll only get to meet her if you promise not to embarrass me when she's over.
I can't make any promises.
I roll my eyes. I can practically see the smug smirk on her face, even though we're hundreds of miles apart. Anyway. Oh yeah, December exam results.
Ooh, yes. I hope you studied hard and got the grades you need, young man.
Don't worry, I did just fine. Sakurai gave me the results last week, and he was pretty impressed. To be honest, I was pretty surprised myself. Overall, I did well, but I really aced Japanese, history, and English.
That's excellent to hear, sweetheart. Well done.
A small laugh filters through the phone speaker. Huh? What's so funny?
I just remember you saying that Yuri's a huge fan of literature, and she's constantly reading books, right?
Yeah?
Well, assuming you guys discussed these books, well, then it's clear that she's rubbing off on you. Seems like she's really helped you appreciate literature, making you more analytical and thoughtful yourself. Clearly, it shows in your grades.
Really? I've never even thought about that. Does it happen in every relationship?
Hard to say, really. It's definitely common, though. You spend so much time with your partner that you subconsciously start copying their mannerisms and tendencies. And that may be useful, especially now.
Huh? Why?
Tut tut. It's Valentine's Day coming up soon, Flam. If her personality is rubbing off on you, you might find it easier to think of something special for her.
Ah. I totally forgot about Valentine's.
On the year that you get a girlfriend and forget about such a romantic day?
When you put it like that, it does seem a little illogical. Well, it's not for a week, so I've still got time.
Don't dawdle, sweetheart. You'll be amazed at how quickly that week will zip by.
Okay. I get it. I'll think of something. Anyway, what have you been up to? Given that it's been a while since you called, I imagine work must be really busy. There's a sigh on the other end.
Yes, you're right. Clients have been so demanding over the past few weeks. New projects, new technologies, new strategies. I'll be so glad when this business quarter is over.
New technologies and strategies? What do you mean?
Well, I won't bore you with all the finer details. Basically, our company has rolled out this new app. We're supposed to use it when we're talking to our clients, as it's meant to boost communication efficiency. The only problem is, it's not exactly intuitive, rather the opposite. There's not been much company training on how to use it. So we basically had to do our own research on how it works. It's tedious, but better than not knowing what to do, I suppose. Anyway, unfortunately I have to go, sweetheart. It was lovely to catch up with you again, and I promise it won't be so long until we talk next. Okay?
It's fine, Mom. You've been really busy, so don't worry about it.
Well, I'll see what I can do.
Huh? About what?
Oh, nothing. Forget I said anything. Bye, Flam. I love you.
Love you too, Mom. As I put my phone back into my pocket, my mother's words continue to swirl around my head. We've had to do our own research on how it works. Maybe. Of course. The answer was right there. Why didn't I research self-harm on the internet before? Man, I can be really dumb sometimes. Just as I get up to make my way to my computer, my phone rings. Speak of the devil.
Hi, Flam.
Hey, Yuri.
I tried calling you just now. You weren't around?
Huh? Oh, nah, I was just talking to Mom. So that's probably why I didn't see your call.
Your mother?
It's been a while since we've spoken, so it's really nice to catch up with her again. Ouch.
I can imagine. How is she?
Stressed, but she's doing fine. She was happy to hear about my exam results. Guess that parental instinct never goes away, huh? I laughed to myself before realizing what I've just said. Oh. Sorry, I meant like...
It's okay.
There's an awkward silence for a moment.
Anyway, I was wondering, can you come over? I've been missing you.
I frowned slightly. It's a Sunday, Yuri. The last time you saw me was Friday in school. It's only been 2 days. Is everything alright?
Yes, I'm fine. I just really want to see you right now.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be right over. Huh? So it's my first time going to Yuri's house, huh? Strange to think that this is the first time it's happening, even though we've known each other for months. After exchanging a kiss, I take a seat on the bed right next to Yuri. She's blushing slightly. You know, your bedroom looks exactly how I imagined it would.
What do you mean?
It just looks really elegant and tidy. Much like you. And of course, only you would have a huge bookshelf right next to your bed. How many times have you tried to reach over to the bookshelf while you were snuggled under the sheets? She smiles bashfully and never stops being heartwarming.
Maybe a few times. By the way, Flam. Would you like to see my,
Get your mind out of the gutter, Flam. You're what? I'm painfully aware of the suggestive tone the conversation has suddenly adopted. Judging by the furious blushing on Yuri's face, it's safe to say that I'm not the only one.
Although you'll probably think it's really weird.
Wait. Are we thinking of different things? She reaches towards her desk and pulls out a medium-sized black box.
Well, you remember how I said I had a knife collection?
A wave of understanding washes over me. I have to fight the urge to laugh at myself. My God, this situation could have been made a million times more awkward. Oh, you want to show me your knives?
You're not weirded out by it?
No. At one point I was tempted to get you a knife for Christmas, but I figured you'd already had a few. Besides, I don't know what type of knives you like. I'm kind of curious, to be honest. I've never met someone who collects them. So yeah, go ahead. Apprehension is still visible on her face, but after swallowing nervously, she gently opens the lid. Wow. You weren't kidding when you said you had a collection, were you? Wow.
Sorry, I know it must be really weird. I don't know why I even suggested it.
She moves to snap the lid shut, but I reach out and gently grasp her hands. Surprise flickers across her features as she looks at me. If I look closely, I can detect shame in her eyes. It's not weird at all. I accepted who you are a long time ago, Yuri. Please don't feel ashamed. Plus, I really want to see these knives of yours.
Really?
I smile reassuringly at her. Yes.
If you're sure.
She gingerly reopens the box and pulls out a small knife. Is this one a dagger? It looks too small to be a knife.
It is indeed. This one actually comes from the 18th century, and if I recall, it's also from Spain.
Spanish, huh? I slowly take the dagger from Yuri and hold it in my hands. The hilt is silver, and the blade comes with a golden sheath. Carefully, I unsheath it.
This one is particularly sharp, but I would still recommend exercising caution.
Oh, is it particularly sharp? I turn it over in my hands. It's not exactly a large weapon, but the craftsmanship is undeniable.
During the Renaissance age, a dagger such as this one was actually used as part of everyday dress. In fact, daggers were the only weapons that commoners were permitted to carry. The dagger was very popular in Spain, where it was referred to as either a daga or a punal.
I sheath the knife and hand it back to Yuri, who puts it back in the box. You really know your stuff, huh? It's really admirable how intelligent you are. Books, science, knives. Is there any limit to your knowledge? She blushes and averts her eyes into the box.
You're too kind, Flam.
My eyes are drawn to a rather large curved knife that sits in the middle of the box. Wow, this one has a really cool shape. As you move away from the base of the blade, it curves to the side to a point where the head is at a very different angle.
Ah, this one has a fascinating history.
Her face has lit up, and passion flares behind her eyes. It's the type of fervor I see only when she's talking about her books.
It's actually called a kukri, and it's an icon in Nepal. Do you see how the head of the blade is at an angle? This gives the kukri immense chopping power. You see, it isn't a knife designed to stab or slice, although you can, of course, still do that. The hidden way of the blade means that it's very efficient at cutting through flesh. In fact, it's even able to cleanly chop limbs off.
I think I know a few fictional serial killers who'd love to use a weapon like this one. But what's with the little notch above the handle?
Essentially, it's to stop blood from dripping onto the user's hands. That would make the handle slippery and impractical.
Yeah, I had no idea that so much thought went into the design of these things. To me, knives are just simple cutting tools with a straight edge. Guess it goes to show how much I know.
I don't blame you for thinking like that. An interest in knives is hardly the norm, so it's a given that you wouldn't give them that much thought.
She holds the cookery up and slowly turns it around in her hands. From her expression, it's clear that she's admiring the blade. I'll admit that it's a little unusual. After all, if someone told me that one day I'd be looking at my girlfriend admiring a dangerous weapon, I wouldn't believe them. But being with Yuri, it's opened my eyes. It's helped me see that people have a variety of interests. In a way, it's refreshing to see such uniqueness in a person. What is it about knives that you like so much? I remember you talked about it a long time ago, but I can't remember what it is that you said.
There are many reasons, some of which make more sense than others, I suppose. Let's start with a simple reason, the craftsmanship. An untold number of hours go into creating the knives as you see them. The weight, the feel, the sharpness, the length, the design, the color. There's also the rather dark association that knives have. Flam? Am I wrong in thinking that there's something inherently fascinating with the macabre? We're taught to fear the darkness, but there's something so intriguing about it.
You know, if I think about it, I can see what you mean. Like if we take Halloween, for example. It's pretty much a festival dedicated to the dead, right? Yeah, it's pretty commercialized, but I've always enjoyed it. Telling ghost stories, scaring each other, seeing all the gruesome costumes people wear. Yuri nods in earnest.
Fear is such an enigma. Different people fear different things. Some people love horror movies, yet others balk at the very thought. And when it comes to knives, well, you only need to look at the world around you to see what kind of reputation they have. And knives never judge you.
Have you ever used these knives to cut yourself? I immediately berate myself for asking such a question like that. It sounded way less insensitive in my head.
I'm surprised you even had to ask that.
Yeah, so many, and a lot of these knives look, well, they're really big and they look really sharp. Yuri stays silent. I'm just worried about you, that's all. More silence. It's growing more uncomfortable by the second.
I know you are, Flam. And it means a lot to me that you care. I was so afraid that you'd break up with me once you saw my scars.
Break up with you? No, of course not. If anything, it's made me want to be with you more.
Why?
Well, I want to see you get better. And I actually wanted to do some research on self-harm with you. And look at some therapy options.
That won't be necessary.
The finality in Yuri's voice stops me dead. I've only heard such assertion in her voice maybe once. Why not?
Because I don't want to go to therapy.
Don't you want to stop cutting?
Self-harming is the only way I've ever known how to deal with my issues. It's the only way I've been able to express myself.
But we both know it's not a healthy way to deal with your feelings, Yuri. What if you cut too deeply? Or I don't know, cut a vein or something.
I won't. I know which places are safe to cut and which specific areas to avoid.
That doesn't make me feel much better, you know.
I'm sorry.
She sighs deeply.
To be honest, I knew that you'd eventually ask me to try therapy. I know it's probably hard for you to see I'd like this, but for me, it's really not that simple.
Then help me understand. Please.
If I must. Although I warn you, you're not going to understand it all. Anyway.
She reaches into a box and takes out a silver knife. As she speaks, it rolls in between her fingers, taking utmost care not to accidentally cut herself.
Like I said, self-harming has been the only way I've ever been able to deal with my feelings. And yes, I know it's maladaptive, but you have to understand that for me, it's like a routine. It may not be a good approach, but it's the only approach I have. And what's the whole point of therapy? To get me to stop self-harming? In other words, losing the only way I've ever known how to control myself. I simply couldn't imagine another way of dealing with things. Plus, the thought of opening up to a complete stranger about my innermost insecurities is simply unimaginable. I hid it from my parents. I hid it from you. The only reason you knew about my habit was simply through chance. There's an awful lot of vulnerability and blind trust to put into a random stranger, don't you think?
As much as I hate to admit it, yeah, I can definitely see what she means. It's easy for me to stand here and ask her to see a therapist, but it's a whole different story for her.
If it's any consolation, Flam, I don't exactly cut frequently. I won't deny that it still happens, but ever since we started dating, it happens a little less.
Really?
Yes. Having someone to talk to, someone who's open-minded, who's willing to listen to me ramble on about literature or look at knives with me, it does make a difference.
She slowly inches her face closer to mine.
It's amazing how much of a difference just one person can make. So thank you.
She tentatively reaches her arms out for a hug. I comply instantly and pull her close. Her head rests against my chest. Yuri, look, I get it. I know you don't want to see a therapist, but can you at least promise me that you'll think about it? For my sake or for yours? She looks up at me.
Flam?
Please. I'm serious. I know you don't want to, but this isn't something I can ignore.
Okay. I promise that I'll at least consider it. But please don't get your hopes up, okay?
Alright. That's all I can ask for now. She nods slowly.
By the way, I've been meaning to ask you, would you like to read the first ghost story I ever read with me?
You still got it on you?
Of course. It's one of the strongest reminders I have of my parents.
Sadness flickers over her features. I'm quick to reply, of course. Where is it? She motions to a book resting snugly on the bookshelf next to her bed. Even though it's a little sad to think about how the book serves as a memory of her dead parents, it's endearing that it's so close to her bed. Almost like a guardian that watches her when she sleeps. Man, Mama's right. I really do sound like Yuri. Yeah, Yuri. I've been looking all over for you. Yuri starts when I call out her name, but instantly relaxes when she catches sight of me.
Lamb, sorry, I was in the bathroom.
Yeah, I figured as much when I saw that you weren't in your classroom. Anyway, do you want to eat lunch with me?
I would love to.
Come on, let's go to the roof to eat. We start walking down the hallway. We start walking together down the hallway, our shoulders nearly touching. The backs of our hands brush together as we walk. Public displays of affection are strictly prohibited in our school, and Yuri's not one for breaking rules. Still, even a small touch sparks electricity between us. I stealthily link our pinky fingers together, prompting a shy smile from Yuri. We walk together in companionable silence, passing by the occasional student and hearing snatches of conversation from within classrooms.
Lamb, isn't the stairwell to the roof in the other direction?
Huh? I guess, but I was just following you.
But I was following you.
Leave it to us to do something like this. We walked all the way to the first year classrooms without realizing what was happening.
I suppose this counts as our exercise for the week.
Definitely. As I turned around to head back, I noticed Yuri curiously peeking in one of the classrooms. Oh yeah, shouldn't Natsuki's class be around here?
She's in class 1C if I remember correctly.
Do you want to say hi to her? Actually, we could even ask her to have lunch with us. Yuri bites her lip and looks over at the classrooms again. I feel like a choice is coming up, so let's go ahead and save it. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
But I wouldn't want to stop you from talking to your friends.
Hey, don't forget, she's your friend too, right?
That's true. We can do whatever you want.
I mean, it doesn't seem like you're that comfortable with it.
No, I'm fine. Really. Go ahead and ask her. I'll wait out here for you.
Okay then, if you're sure. With one last glance back, I hesitantly slide open the classroom door. Didn't seem like Yuri was too keen on eating with Natsuki, but she said it was okay. Plus, it'd be good for her to get closer to other people too, right? Stepping into the classroom, I met with a few curious glances from students. I was so surprised though, given that not many people know all their upperclassmen. Natsuki's hunched over alone at her desk, scribbling something on a piece of paper. As I approach her, I'm surprised to see that rather than writing, she's drawing something. Hey Natsuki, what are you drawing? Startled, she looks up and quickly whips the paper off her desk.
Flam, what are you doing here?
Just saying hi.
Okay, hi.
Are you trying to start your own manga or something?
No.
She turns red at my allegation. Looks like she is drawing manga.
If you don't have anything better to do, why don't you beat it?
Actually, I did want to ask you something.
What?
Well, if you want me to beat it, I can just leave.
What do you want to ask?
Are you sure you want to know? I'm perfectly fine with just minding my own business.
Just tell me already!
Okay. I was going to ask you if you wanted to eat with Yuri and me.
Oh. Well?
She looks down at the now wrinkled piece of paper in her lap. With a frustrated sigh, Natsuki crumples up the paper into a ball and tosses it into her desk. Whoa, what are you doing? I reach out for the balled up drawing, but my hand's quickly swatted away by Natsuki. Don't you want to keep your drawing?
No, and keep your nosy nose out of my business. Now, where are we eating?
The roof, if that's okay with you.
Yep, just lead the way.
As we head for the door, I still can't help but feel bothered at her tossing away her hard work. It's probably like that one poem she threw away before that Monica found.
Hey, Yuri, guess we're having lunch together, huh?
Way to state the obvious.
Huh? It's called small talk. Ever heard of it?
Psh, Yuri and I don't need small talk, right, Yuri?
I admit, it would be nice to live in a society without any of that. Geez, let's just walk all the way up to the roof without talking then.
Fine by me, Yuri.
I wouldn't mind. Let's do it then.
We stand on the rooftop, quietly, the cool breeze giving the sunshine a comfortable warmth. Finally, Natsuki flings her arms in the air and speaks in an exasperated tone.
That was so awkward.
Maybe for you, but sometimes Yuri and I don't talk when we're together. It's just a matter of
acclimatizing to the quiet. After a while, you learn to enjoy it. I mean, it's not like I hate the silence when I'm alone, but it gets so awkward when you're with other people. You guys are weird.
Never said I wasn't.
Anyway, shall we eat?
Yeah, let's sit over there. Having settled down, Yuri takes out her bento box as I pull my own lunch out of my bag. This happens to consist of an extremely healthy options of 2 packaged breads, yakisoba bread, and my personal favorite, curry bread. As I tear open the curry bread cellophane, I pause. Natsuki's been sitting with her arms wrapped around her legs, making no movements to bring out her lunch. It looks like she's just staring into space. Hey Natsuki, where's your lunch?
Huh?
She jumps a bit on my question.
I forgot it.
Oh, did you leave it in your desk? We can go back to get it if you'd like.
No, I mean, I forgot it at home.
But she didn't even check her bag for it.
It's fine. Don't worry about me.
I tossed my yakisoba bread at her. Here. I don't know how much you like this stuff, but it's better than nothing. A look of, I don't know, shock? Surprise, maybe? Whatever emotion it is, it causes her eyes to widen for a moment. How low of an opinion must she have of me to be this surprised?
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's not like I'm gonna starve if I give it up to you.
Okay then, thanks.
She enthusiastically tears the plastic package apart and chomps down the fried noodles and bread. Did you skip breakfast, or is that just your favorite type of bread? At my question, Natsuki seems to choke on her bite for a second before hastily chewing and swallowing.
I skipped breakfast. I think this is like a hungry day for me too. You know, those days when you can never get full.
I can relate to that. I definitely know for a fact Sayori relates to that as well. That most likely results from an unhealthy diet. Oh.
That most likely results from an unhealthy diet.
Are you including me in that statement? Well, I can't argue against that.
I do not have an unhealthy diet. Okay, maybe I bake a lot of pastries for myself, but...
Looks like Natsuki's out of excuses. Just a minute, Natsuki. You're totally unhealthy. I mean, you don't play any sports, and you basically live off of cupcakes.
Hey, I make other things besides cupcakes.
Yuri sighs and shakes her head.
I'm not sure how you two survive this way. We've been doing it just fine.
Yep, we're still alive, aren't we?
Quite the high expectations you have there. That's just Flam setting a low bar for himself as usual. Don't let me in with him.
Wow, way to throw me under the bus, Natsuki. She shrugs and smirks at me.
If the shoe fits...
Who's the one who accepted my offering of bread?
You're the one who gave it to me! Don't you dare try to guilt me over that fact.
Jeez, it was just a joke. As an apology, I'll buy you a coffee later.
Make that a strawberry milk and you've got yourself a deal.
Sounds good to me. And with that, we all turn back to our food. And with that, we all turn back to our food. After a while, Natsuki polishes off her bread and crumples up the plastic packaging.
Hey, I'm gonna go throw this away. I think lunch is almost over, so I'm just gonna head back while I'm at it. See you guys at the club. And, thanks for the food.
While our face is full of food, both Yuri and I wave off Natsuki. The smaller girl turns and leaves. That wasn't so bad, right?
No, I suppose it wasn't. So sorry. I don't know what's going on in my mind.
Her weak chuckle causes me to instinctively grab her hand. It's fine, Yuri. You can take your time.
Thank you. I'm really grateful that I have you by my side.
Her voice adopts a breathy tone for a moment, and her hands feel especially warm in mine.
It's really just initiating conversations that's the hardest part. Conversation topics, small talk, awkward silences, everything just deepens the anxiety.
Kinda like what Natsuki was talking about, huh?
Yes. I don't normally mind the silence, but when I'm made hyper aware of it...
That's perfectly fine, Yuri. I think most people can relate to at least some of what you're feeling. You know? And just when we were about to launch into a heartfelt conversation, the bell couldn't have had worse timing.
We should start heading back, shouldn't we?
I sigh and nod, packing up my stuff. Yep, let's talk more during the club.
Agreed.
And that was a quick transition from rooftop to club. Man, I don't think I've ever been the first one to the club. That is, until now. Well, Yuri would be here with me too, but she had to go to the bathroom again. Some girls have the bladders of squirrels. Or maybe Yuri wouldn't be. Damn it, Flam. You couldn't even go one day without thinking of that, could you? I don't even know if it's right for me to think of that stuff when I think about Yuri. Wouldn't it be doing her injustice to not consider the hardships she goes through? But then again, I also don't want to define her by her self-harm. I have no idea what to think. Fortunately, my mental beratings are cut short by the rattle of the door opening.
Flam, what a surprise.
Didn't expect to see me here yet, eh?
No, definitely not. Where's Yuri? She's usually with you, right? After all, you two always went to the club together.
Yeah, she's in the bathroom right now. I feel kind of weird escorting her to the bathroom and all.
You don't have to treat her like a fragile little flower, you know.
Yeah, I know that. I'm once again reminded of the fact that I'm the only one who knows Yuri's secret. Still, Monica may have a point. As I open my mouth to continue the conversation, the door slams open, announcing the arrival of Sayori and Natsuki.
Hi, Flam. Don't forget about Monica. Oh, and Monica too. Welcome back to the club, you two. Where's Yuri? She's in the bathroom. Are you looking forward to discussing literature with her today? Something like that, I guess. Or in your case, it'd be more like discussing manga. Hey, manga! It's literature!
Sayori, you just stole Natsuki's line.
Sorry. This isn't a joke. I don't appreciate people making fun of manga, especially when they're people like you who won't even consider what I'm saying about it. Idiots.
Classic Natsuki.
Hello, everyone. I apologize for my delay.
Whoa, Yuri suddenly materialized behind me.
It's fine, Yuri. You're not late. Now that everyone's here, though, we can get the meeting started. As per usual, we'll be having a bit of free time first, followed by poetry discussions and general announcements. Okay, everyone, let's get busy.
We begin to split up into smaller groups, and at that, with Monica leading the way by gently shuffling Sayori off into a corner of the room. It's just me, Yuri, and Natsuki left then. Out of the corner of my eye, I can see Natsuki opening her mouth to speak before Yuri cuts in.
Flam, would you like to continue with our novel then?
Natsuki turns away, brow furrowed in frustration. Hold on, Natsuki, were you going to say something?
Uh-huh. No. I'm not interested in whatever stuffy book you guys are reading.
She glances over at Yuri as she says this. I don't know how accurate my hunch is, but I've got a feeling that Natsuki wants to talk to Yuri more. Come on, spit it out. What happened to our lunchtime bonding?
Ugh, it's none of your business. I wasn't even gonna talk to you. Sorry if this is presumptuous, but did you want to speak with me then? Never mind.
The smaller girl quickly spins around to flee the scene. I know that Yuri wants to get on with the book that we're reading, but Natsuki seems pretty eager to talk to her. Should I just hang out with Yuri or encourage her to talk to Natsuki for a change? Ooh. Choice coming up. I'll have to admit, I'm a bit reluctant to give up the quality time with my girlfriend. But then again, I can read with her another time too. Either way, I need to make a decision before Natsuki hides away with her manga again. Okay, so this is my thought process with this one, guys. I think that this time I will make the right decision. Yuri is starting to get a little more comfortable with communicating. And I don't want Yuri to think that she has to spend her time with me. So I'm going to ask her to hang out with Natsuki. And see where that goes. No, Natsuki, she's probably going to bottle this up and never talk about it again if we don't stop her. So for the sake of everyone's sanity, it'd probably be best. It would probably be for the best if Yuri just talks to her now. Hey Yuri, I think you should actually follow up with Natsuki.
Do you not want to read today?
No. It's just that I think Natsuki really wants to talk to you.
You have a point there. To be honest, I am curious about it. Alright then. If it's fine with you, I'll go speak to her now.
Go for it. I'll just do homework or something instead. Lord knows I need to work on procrastinating less. I wave Yuri off as I pull my word book out with a sigh. Guess I'll be pulling a Monica today. I just finished a particularly difficult math problem when Monica suddenly interrupts my concentration. Given my feelings on math, I can't say that that's an unwelcome distraction, though.
Okay, everyone. It's getting late, so let's hurry up and share our poetry.
As I put away my homework, I sense a presence that appears before me. It's Yuri! But just as I'm about to speak to her, Monica interrupts me.
Flam, you remember to write a poem this time, right?
Monica says this with a bright smile on her face. However, I can't help but hear a threatening edge to her voice. Man, when did cute girls become so scary? Yeah, I did. I hope I did you proud with it. I did my usual thing, just pulled a bunch of words out of the hat and threw them onto a piece of paper.
Haha, we'll see.
I pull out my poem and turn to Yuri, offering up my handiwork. So how'd it go with Natsuki? She pauses as she takes my poem, clearly mulling over her words. Finally, she starts speaking with a smile.
Well, I can't say that I went smoothly the entire time. She was quite evasive and prickly when I first confronted her. Although there's no doubt that my awkwardness factored into it. This may surprise you, but I don't think I've ever approached Natsuki on my own before. So that didn't help matters either.
Yeah, that's par for the course when it comes to Natsuki. And don't worry too much about being awkward. You come off as very well spoken in general.
Really? I wouldn't have thought so.
Really? Not to downplay your own insecurities, of course, but I do think that you overthink things a lot.
Huh. That might be an understatement. Anyway, after a bit we begin discussing topics such as our interests. To summarize, we just had a normal conversation.
Yes! I think we made the right choice, guys.
It was the kind of banal conversation that people have every day, but somehow it made me feel content.
Her eyes sparkle with life as she says this. That's understandable. After all, isn't a happy life usually made up of multiple small, satisfying moments rather than a few huge, joyous moments?
You're right. All these things happening makes me wonder why Natsuki and I fought so vehemently in the past.
Part of it was because of the differences in your poetry styles, right?
I suppose when two passionate opposing opinions clash.
Absolute pandemonium ensues.
It's probably less outrageous than that.
Speaking of poetry, though, I think Monica's giving me the evil eye, so do you want to start sharing?
With pleasure, Flam. In any case, nice analysis today, Flam.
Thanks. I've been learning from the best, so...
You know, if there's one thing I'm glad about when it comes to you and Yuri dating, it's that it makes my job as president a lot easier if more people are enthusiastic about literature. And I'm pretty sure that you become more enthusiastic about it after dating her.
What? So you're not just happy for us as your friends?
Well, that goes without saying.
Thanks for the support, though. In the beginning, I wasn't really sure how it'd be if two members in the club were dating.
No problem. To be honest, I had my own reservations about it before too. But it looks like everything turned out alright, right?
Yep. Or at least I hope so.
Anyway, it looks like everyone else is done by now too, so do you want to reconvene with the others now?
Sure thing.
Okay, everyone. Hope you had a good discussion. Hope you had good discussions today. It's actually really great practice for our Japanese classes, you know. And as you all know, finals are coming up next month.
Natsuki and I instantly groan. and I instantly yawn.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, they're still a whole month away. No need to bring them up now.
But the early bird catches the worm, right? But what's the worm in this case? I guess it'd be good grades. Good grades which will lead you to being able to get into a good university and thus find a well-paying, stable job. Which will then prevent you from having to die alone without a family nor a home.
Oh, fuck. Monica. I know she doesn't know, but damn. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration.
Okay, if you don't like that idiom, how about this one? An ounce of prevention prevents a pound of cure. A pound of cure? And I assume the pound of cure would be failing grades. That's right, and we all know what failing our exams will lead to. Let me guess, living under a bridge and dying alone? You got it.
Jeez, Monica, when did you become our mom? Plus, high school isn't even mandatory, you know. Plenty of people live normal lives without going to university, too.
I know. I'm just exaggerating. Sorry. I think I'm projecting my stress on everyone. I definitely think that it's wrong to assume that the only path to career success is through higher education. All that does is oversaturate the job market with random degrees and bury young adults in tens of thousands of dollars in debt. And at the same time, these young adults often don't even know what they really want to pursue a career in. Some people might be better off in trade school or doing freelance work. Pardon me if this is too forward, but there seems to be some cognitive dissonance at play here. Cognitive dissonance? Oh, you mean when someone believes in two conflicting ideas? That's right, and Yuri's actually right, too. I don't think that people should be forced to go to college just to fulfill societal expectations, and yet I feel that pressure too. Of course, I also want to go to a good university so I can better myself, but there's always this pressure at the back of my mind, and I don't even know what my parents would do if I didn't go to university, huh? So I guess all that stuff you said before about pressure and being busy was true, huh? Natsuki, did you think Monica was lying about all that? No! I just thought that she was exaggerating. It's fine, Natsuki. Some of the stuff I say does sound far-fetched at times.
Man, we really have to take you out on a spa day sometime, Monica. Actually, everyone probably deserves a day of relaxation at this point. Especially Yuri.
A group spa day? My mind flam. Are you hoping for a spa mixed with baths?
What? No! Damn, now I can't stop thinking about it. Thanks, Monica. Besides, Yuri's the only girl for me. Come on, Yuri, let's show them all and go to a mixed bath by ourselves. Yuri's completely red in the face now. I really got to remember not to make jokes like that around her.
I'd rather have you not show us that. Yeah, Flam, don't be gross like that.
Sorry.
Okay, let's get back on topic before Flam makes Yuri implode out of embarrassment.
Hey, Yuri's not that embarrassed. Are you, Yuri?
Let's talk about exams.
Whoops.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
Wow, so even Natsuki would rather talk about exams, huh?
Same here. Alright then. Now, I don't know if I'm jumping the gun a bit, but I was thinking about how we hold a few study sessions together for exam prep.
Aren't you forgetting the finals aren't for another month? They don't have to be held right now. We could get together when it's closer to final season.
Personally, I believe that holding a study session together would be a good idea. Between the 5 of us, each subject should have at least one person who's proficient in its area. And that way we can have those who excel in certain subjects help those of us who struggle more in those classes. Yeah, I think that making a study group is pretty smart. It'd help motivate us more too if we all supported each other and cheered each other on.
I don't have any objections to it myself. Like Sayori said, it'll stop us from procrastinating.
You mean stop you from procrastinating?
Oh really, miss? I lost my workbook.
Meanie, that's not even procrastinating. That's just me being absent-minded.
Okay, but who's the one who rushed over to copy homework during lunch before?
Fine. I'll stop you and me from procrastinating. Happy?
Very.
Hey, this is all really cool and whatever, but I think you're all forgetting one tiny detail. I'm not in the same year as you guys. There's really no point in inviting me to a study group because I won't be able to help anyone with their work. But we can't leave you out. This is a club thing. And even if you can't help us study, you can still provide emotional support. Yes, I really don't mind if you're with us. Rather, I think I'd actually like it if we could all study and talk together, even if we all study totally different subjects. And I suspect that Monica feels the same too. We can't just go abandoning a fellow club member and friend like that.
Yeah, what do you say, Natsuki? You joining us?
Okay, fine. But only because you'd all drag me along anyway.
The light grin on her face betrays Natsuki's true thoughts. Funny how by this point we can all tell that she really means the opposite of what she says.
Hey, I knew you'd say yes. Geez, there's nothing to cheer about. I'm glad that everything settled nicely now. Actually, that should be it for the day too. Thanks for the hard work today, guys, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Phew, I somehow feel exhausted already.
To be honest, same.
Hold on, I don't believe we ever planned out the actual dates for the study session. Oh, thanks for reminding me. Let's discuss it in the group chat so we can all write down what schedule best fits us.
We all make noises of affirmation as we pack up our things. Studying with the girls, huh? With any luck, Yuri and Monika's influence will somehow pull up my grades. Not to mention that it'll be a lot more fun studying with friends. Although there will undoubtedly be some disagreements when it comes to studying literature. Oh well, it'll all be worth it in the end, right? Whew. Alright. Gonna wrap this one up here, guys. Yuri is making progress, and I love seeing it. And we're encouraging her, too. We're encouraging her to, you know, open up a little bit more to Natsuki. We're doing good, guys. We're doing good. I'm liking where this is going so far. But anyway, thanks for watching. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. And have a good night and a good weekend coming up.